Would it surprise you to learn that those stitches were done on a Singer ZigZag attachment? I had a thought the other day and wondered if it were possible and that I could use the Singer ZigZag attachment and do some extra fancy stitches. And the answer came true. The one I was trying to get, however, I couldn't, and that's only because my ZigZag attachment doesn't have a 3-point zigzag, which would have given the honeycomb. This was done, by the way, when I just really tightened up the stitches, so obviously that's not very attractive, but it's that, just super tight. But you can get this, and all of these, and that. So stay tuned and I'll discuss how. Okay, so to set up the machine, first thing we need to do is go over to the stretch stitch. So on this machine, it's the three lines. So just the stretch straight stitch, not the stretch zigzag stitch. And then really you can just put it on the longest length, and this is 6mm or 6 stitches per inch. And then that's pretty much it. The zigzag attachment's on, so it's just a matter of starting to sew. So not all of these cams make the most exciting stitches, however some make some very good ones. So we'll start with, let's see if I can get this to zoom in. It looks like a scallop sort of pattern. Yep, that zooms in okay. So it looks like that. So we'll start with that. Now the one I had hoped existed, but I couldn't find it, is the multi-point zigzag, but only 2 zigzags or 3 stitches per zigzag, because that would have given me the gingerbread type stitch. But anyway, off we go with this. So we'll reduce the tension. Good. Oops. Foot pedal's a mile away, 1 second. So I also have this set to the maximum stitch width. And off we go. So I find with this attachment you don't want the foot pressure too high. Just enough to make sure the fabric moves perfectly, otherwise it sort of binds the attachment. So do a long row of stitches here so you can see. I won't do every single pattern that's possible. I'll just show you some of them so you get an idea. Should be enough. Okay, lift this up, pull it out, give it a snip, and then you can see. So that one that does the looks like a scallop gives that type of stitch. It's very nice. So on to the next. Okay. Now we'll go on to, which box did I get that out of? Now we've got this one. So similar sort of scalloped look, but with kind of points in the edges. So we'll see how that one looks different. Oops. Obviously you can muck around with the stitch length as well, but on the maximum it shows up quite well. So just leave it at the maximum. Okay, that's enough of that. So that one, gives that stitch pattern, which is kind of fun. Okay, now on to the third. Now on to the multi-point zigzag. So this is the one where there are a lot more stitches. This is a very wide pattern. See if we can get it focus in a bit. There we go. It's very wide, which is lovely. And it's got a lot of stitches on the multi-point zigzag. It would be fun if there were one with fewer stitches, which normally is not something I would ask for, but in this case, oops, stupid me. Thread. Okay, off we go again. This gives a really nice pattern. It isn't the smocking stitch that I was hoping for, but it's definitely attractive in its own right. Okay, that'll do fine. So that gives that look. Oops. It's very nice. So you can see if it had fewer, it would give a smocking stitch, which is what I meant before. That's very nice. So we'll do a couple more. So here we have the domino. Okay, that's enough of that. So this one gives quite a fun, sort of wiggly, leafy sort of pattern. That one, the bottom one. Just rather neat looking, almost cross stitch, I suppose you could call it. So that works really neatly. Okay. And I'm trying to remember which other one was quite successful. One second. Well, I actually think, if I remember correctly, this one worked quite well. So it sort of blocks with a middle in the middle. So sure what it's called. I'd have to look it up what it's called. Oh yes, this one just gave a thick stitch. Not wildly interesting. It was the arrowhead which gave a better, more interesting stitch. And if you wanted a thick stitch, slightly zigzagged, but this is okay. There you are, good. So this gives sort of a wiggly stitch, not very interesting. Okay, so I got to play around a bit. So let's try. This is a sort of a comb type stitch, but it's slightly more complicated. So thick, then bigger zigzag, and so let's see what that gives. There's the arrowhead. So we'll try that immediately after this. Okay. Off we go. You should remember that to guide the fabric so it doesn't sort of go all over the place and go astray. See, that's why I got a wiggly, crooked wiggly line. I wasn't guiding the fabric well. That's okay, will forgive me. Okay, this one gives a similar sort of, but slightly nicer wiggly line than the other one. It's got sort of sticky uppy bits. There you can see there, so that's kind of fun. Okay, let's find this arrow. There's the arrowhead. Let's try the arrowhead now. I seem to remember that was kind of fun. You get the idea. You can play with all of these, whatever you've got on your different zigzaggers, and see what combinations you can come up with. If you don't, if you don't have always the cam for your machine, this is a potential alternative to get some interesting decorative attachments. I am on the scout out for a multi-point zigzag with fewer zigs and zags to see if I can get that smocking stitch on this, just for fun. But there's no rush. Okay, enough of that. So this is sort of a slightly different wiggly line, but with a triangle in the middle of it. So let's see if we can show that. You can see the top one there has a sort of an extra triangle in the middle. So it's all a little bit of fun, but it certainly gives alternatives to the standard stuff. So some, the first ones I showed you were definitely interesting, really nice, and you just have to keep playing around and see what your zigzag attachments will do when working in reverse mode. So it's fun. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. Bye for now.